All dear souls, wish you a very, very happy, prosperous and a meditative new year. और सब आत्मजनों को मेरा आशीर्वाद है, गुरु माता का और मेरा आशीर्वाद है. Happy returns
New Year
of the new year.
Good blessings from me and Guru Nath.
Guru Mata must speak, I think, a little louder. If she is not speaking louder, speak a little louder. They want your blessings.
Hello, wish you happy New Year and
For this New Year's and all the New Years to come, let's get it over once and for all. They say it's an intense blessing to you all. And when does a blessing come? A blessing from a master comes to the disciple when there is nothing attached, no strings attached, when there's no agenda. If I bless a rich man and I'm looking at his purse that he gave me some donation for the blessing, then that blessing is useless. It is sakam, it is filled with desire, it creates new karma.
Nishkam karma.
Nishkam karma is only done when the blessing is done from the state of consciousness and not desire.
And lot of love from me also.
Yes. Guru Mata
Guru
gives
Mata.
all of you a lot of love.
And
So, and what else?
what
We are
else is-
nonplussed with all your splendor and beauty, all you dear souls. You're looking so beautiful this new year. Please keep looking
I don't
beautiful.
know. In the morning you tell something, no?
What did I say?
Everyone is clapping. What you just send some sentence.
Oh, they asked me what is yoga.
Yeah.
They asked me what is yoga. Actually, I was going to speak something different, but she's told me. So I told them a different aspect of yoga. What is the intensity? What is the gravitas of yoga? The import. So I told them in the morning talk that yoga is the facticity of things as they are. There's no hanky-panky, there's no mixing up the message. It is the reality as it is. When you reach the finale of Nirvikalp or Nirbij Samadhi, you come face to face with the facticity of things as they are. That facticity of things as they are, people call God, Ishwar, Aur Mazda, and Christ, Krishna, the supraconscious state of Dharma Make Samadhi, whatever you may call it. But then I told them another explanation, because everybody knows yoga is unity and union, and uniting subject with object is called samyam. But another thing is that we all, you must remember, we exist. So we have no religion but existing. We are existential. And being existential, addressing you people who are on the pathway to seeking the supreme reality, we term ourselves as existential realists. So, what is yoga? It is an existential process to the supreme reality. That's what yoga is. And that existential process is a process of evolution. Some people go to the supreme reality by natural living. Some people like us, the Hamsa yogis, the Kundalini Kriya yogis, they go to the supreme reality by a process of Kundalini Kriya yoga. So this existential process of yoga, Kriya yoga, towards the supreme reality, the existential process towards supreme reality is called yoga. Right?
Yeah.
And now, there is a saying that you are God to the extent you know God. I'm going to explain this in brief, in a nutshell. You see, your God self, the individual God self is trapped within your mental, emotional and physical bodies. And therefore, it can not recognize its universal self, its larger self, which is God. So as the individual self is, which is ensconced and covered, by the vestures of the mental, emotional and physical bodies, as it purifies itself by the gentle abrasion of breath through Kriya Yoga, it begins to see more and more of its universal reality. And first, as it purifies its random thoughts, its ailing body it makes fit. Its emotional body it pures to a devotional body. And it purifies its mind to a still state of concentration. It is more able to grasp of the universal consciousness which connects with the same spark of individual consciousness which lies at the core of all our beings. So the first stage is when you discipline yourself by step stages of yoga. At the first stage, when you conquer your physical body, you discipline it, you feel more in attunement with nature, which is an aspect of God. Secondly, as you cure your random thoughts and you subdue them and make them lie in harmony with your higher self, you express more and more of your God essence. So your individual consciousness connects more with your universal consciousness. So you are more of God than you were before. Then as you train your mind to a higher state of meditation, you also, from random thoughts, you discipline your thought forms. And when you discipline and refine your thoughts forms, they become more transparent. Then you can express more of God. So you are God to the extent you know God. In this state of meditation, in concentration you know Him. In meditation you know Him more. And as your mind is further refined to a state of awareness, you know Him the most. So after you have refined your thought forms, you then get to the mind, which thoughts bubble up from the surface of the mind's lake. They are remembered experiences of the past lives. Now you have to conquer them and discipline them, trace them to their source and dissolve them in the mind stuff. When you dissolve your sanskars or remembered experience of past lives, then and then alone, your mind is totally free and clear as a cloudless sky. And then the consciousness within you, the individual consciousness, merges into the universal consciousness and you are one with God. This is the process and meaning of the saying, you are God to the extent you know God. Therefore practice Kundalini Kriya Yoga, a step-by-step process which gives you more and more, ever more refined and ever more expanded states of consciousness through Dharana, Dhyan, Sabikalp Samadhi, Nirvikalp Samadhi, Nirbij Samadhi, Dharmamek Samadhi and Kaivalya. You are God to the extent you know God. And by the practice of Kundalini Kriya Yoga, the step-by-step process of Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, you know God more and more till your individual consciousness is one with the universal consciousness. God bless. Godspeed for the new year.